Driven from their homes by armed invaders, a few hardy refugees faced the prospect of starting again. They would found a new village deep in the countryside. With a new settlement established, the first priority was locating a reliable food source. The simplest source was gathering from nature.
Yaru. Hestes, Quetta.
Hear that?
Dafe.
Yaru.
With a healthy supply of food, the village could start to grow. To do so, it would need more hands to share the work.
Yaru. Quetta.
Huh? Yeah.
The new workforce could now turn to the growing village's needs. First, they would build a mill near their food source, so villagers could drop off gathered berries more easily.
Hereof. Work Sheriff. Quetta. Work Henday. Hereof.
Next, the growing village would need wood to build with.
Hestes. Gadriende. Yasamiende. Yaru. Yaru. Yeah. Hereof. Woodu. Yaru. Huh?
Yeah.
Hestes. Huende.
The growing community now had a steady supply of lumber. To make wood collection easier, villagers could erect a lumber camp near the forest.
Don.
Thanks to the camp, villagers no longer needed to travel as far to drop off lumber. The village now required additional houses to support its growing population.
Work Henday. Don. Yaru.
Quetta.
With additional housing in place, even more villagers could join the workforce. But a populous village would soon exhaust the natural food sources. To grow, the community needed dedicated farms.
Cheer, lass.
Yeah. Yaru.
Here work. Don.
Huh? Work Henday.
Quetta.
Don. Hestes.
Woodsmen and farmers now kept the village well supplied. Further growth required knowing the countryside and finding more resources. For that, communities employed scouts.
Yeah.
Hera! Lidera! Wudu? Heasa? Yesa?
Able to move quickly and see great distances, scouts were key to discovering new resources. The most important thing for a scout to locate was a ready source of gold. To prevent having to haul ore large distances, expanding communities would establish a mining camp near the source of gold.
Yaru.
Yaru! Yesa? Yeah? Asterende! Ridende! Gande! Forewe! Yesa? Ridende! Yeherende! Kotlich! Yeah!
A well-placed camp ensured efficient gold mining.
Yesa! Asterende! Gande! Elsa?
With a good supply of gold, the village was becoming a large town.
Yeherende!
Charles Yarwa.
The signpost of this growth would be the construction of a large landmark.
Hera! Meta. Work and
Here's this. Work hard.
Foreweda. Asterende! Yeah!
Yeah, that.
With the landmark in place, the once sleepy village announced itself as a thriving feudal township. The townsfolk had been driven from their homes before, however. This time, they would defend themselves. The first step would be constructing a barracks for infantry.
Each team for Theos.
Hera offer.
Yarwa. You are.
Once it had a barracks, the town could establish a standing force of soldiers. Simple infantrymen armed with spears were a common choice for these militias.
Yarwa.
Yarway Yawarler. Each will a Delpha. Gadriende Wudu.
Garwigan.
Garwigan, yes,
Yarwa.
Hestes Commende. Yes, Delphende. Forward here. Ridende ut.
Garu upp. Hurra! Jerwa, Garu kommand av.
Estes Comende.
The town now had a militia and could look to reclaim the lands lost to invasion. The invaders had blocked the road north with a stout palisade. Although spears were of little use against these walls, the militia could burn down the obstacle with torches.
What Thursday?
Yarwa Yoala. Red the demon. Yeah, any other church.
Hestes com. Yes, sir. West the.
Gereth Opa. Each a willa you want the fete. Gadriende and your worker. Fetchende wood.
Yeah. Go, go.
Jerwa, Rema Garu.
road open, the militia could now reclaim their lands in the north. First, the spearmen had to deal with a lone sentry. Advancing aggressively, the militia eliminated the enemy sentry. The invaders had a small cavalry camp guarding the road, but the militia was ready to attack. Spears were highly effective against cavalry, allowing the militia to win the day. All that remained was to destroy the invaders' stables. The invaders' cavalry post was destroyed, but other enemy positions awaited further up the road. Hostile archers defended the next camp, which would put spearmen at a disadvantage. The township needed cavalry of its own to deal with this, and so would need to build stables. To deploy that cavalry quickly, the town needed to build their stables near the front lines.
To work.
Fortunately, friendly villagers came out of hiding and joined the effort.
And your work, eh?
Cheers. Your way on your... What
Cheers! Your way on your Sunday! It's Timbra Theos! Estes comende! Each a worker!
Heisa Heras Neodlich. Forte.
Gerd oppa! Each Timbra Theos! Gerd oppa!
With stables in place, the town could field horsemen of its own.
Churlas, Thurfende Hestem.
Bettest Hista. Stay fast and who both know. Listas Heras.
Hera Opper. Opper.
Where's the water?
Farah John. Each Timbra...
On Mona. Fourth Genge. Ale Samo. Din Hesta. Look where they are. Each Hiera. Heras. Each a will. A Stegat on way. Farah, Eowigan. Din Hesta. Each a folly. Bayard, Ritanu. Yeah, Yaru.
Charlas Thorfende Hestum. That's Shule Bayo Timbra. Your his name. Yarway, Yoala. Charlas.
Heras. Yarway. Fera. Ayored List. Bayard May. Ayored Icarida. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Each a will. On Muna. Each a folly. Yeah. Word cometh honor. Yeras, Aritanu. Lista, Leta Thuskan.
Ich will a reader.
Ich Yara. Oh, Warnia. Yarway.
The town now had a rapid light cavalry, skilled at harassing slower targets, such as archers.
Yeah, you're right, us Yahweh.
Look at foot. Garwigan, Aseta.
On Muna.
Ayoret Yerwa, come on.
Lista, let you teach it over. You sadly at them.
The cavalry eliminated the enemy archers and moved on to destroying the archery range itself. The invaders' archers and their camp were destroyed. A final enemy emplacement remained, one fortified with palisades and defended by spearmen. To deal with this target, the town would need longbowmen. First, they needed to build archery ranges in the area regained from the invaders. Once more, friendly villagers arrived to help.
Yarway, Yawarler.
Reach your worker. Reach your worker. Estes comende. Fetchende wudu.
With several archery ranges in place, the town could add longbowmen to its forces.
Diceium Giseli. Ice bruke dat. Sherlas. Yarway on Yesam.
Then Hester.
Strele fuse. Beodet me.
Strele Volkenge. Ale Samod. Eoredas Yerway.
Abuga strelboren. Strelboren Jerwa. Strelboren. Abuga strelboren.
A strong force of archers could eliminate enemy spearmen at a distance, so long as they took the proper position.
Leteth Uskan.
Yes, sir.
Beodet me.
Yes, and your worker.
Skutfletcher.
Each of
Wernea. Astiga on way.
Strel on Styria. Strel border.
Listas Veras.
Plymouth Garu. Ritnu.
On Muna. Ichafolye.
Abunga.
Wernea. Leteth Uskan. Farron. Eowegan.
Poised on a cliff top, the longbowmen would be protected from an infantry charge. The last of the invaders fell to the resurgent homegrown population. Now that their lands were free of enemies, the town could take the next step in its growth and become a powerful medieval city.
Estes Comende.
Here, too, the erection of a great landmark would be the signpost of this growth.
Gerd uppe. Ige om je celle. Fair and on.
Je niet in Opa. Yahweh.
Fair at your work.
Where a few lowly refugees had founded a small village, now rose a mighty city. From there would grow an empire. Some events leave a deep mark on history, but none on the land. This is the site of the Battle of Hastings. After almost 1,000 years, no traces of the bloody conflict can be seen. But here, the fate of England turned. It's where a king was killed, and his victor claimed the throne. October 14th, 1066. We know what happened here on this day, thanks to this. The Bayeux Tapestry. A carefully preserved, illustrated record of events. It shows the main players. Harold, the newly crowned Anglo-Saxon King of England, and his challenger, William, Duke of Normandy. William claimed the previous king had promised him the crown. So, he assembled an army and prepared to sail to England to fight King Harold for the throne. But a storm thwarted his plans. Meanwhile, Harold discovered that a Viking invasion had landed in the north. Another threat to his crown. So he raced to fight them. In France, William waited for the right conditions to sail across the Channel to England. The weather cleared. He seized his chance. 250 miles north, Harold had defeated the Vikings. Now, hearing of William's arrival, his army sped south. At 9 o'clock in the morning, on this hill, William's Norman army were ready to do battle with Harold's Anglo-Saxon men. The stage was set, and up for grabs, England itself. On October 14th, 1066, William of Normandy stood ready for battle at the base of a hill. The high ground belonged to King Harold of England and his Anglo-Saxon army. Here, on this hilltop, the fate of England would be decided.
Obéir, c'est vertu.
William's Norman army made the first charge, launching a direct assault on the shield wall. Though William's army fought fiercely against the shield wall, it would not yield. As one man fell, another took his place. Overlapping shields in tight formation made for a near impenetrable barrier. Realizing his army could not break the shield wall, William called for a retreat. He aimed to lure the Anglo-Saxons into a false sense of victory, causing them to break formation. William's feigned retreat was working. The Anglo-Saxon army broke their shield wall formation, leaving gaps for William to make a move. With Harold's men no longer in shield wall formation, William could pick them off as they charged. More Norman men-at-arms reinforced William's army. The Anglo-Saxons had deployed rows of spearmen to push back the invaders. But William had an answer. His sharp-eyed archers. Anglo-Saxon archers joined the fray, and the Normans' deadly cavalry ready to charge. But first, William's forces had to eliminate the enemy spearmen, whose sturdy polearms could easily bring down a horse. With the threat of spearmen cleared from the field, William's cavalry was free to charge at the Anglo-Saxon archers. The Anglo-Saxon army was in disarray. Their shield wall had been neutralized, and their numbers were dwindling. Now the only thing standing between William and victory was King Harold himself. The last of Harold's men encircled their king, prepared to lay down their lives to save his. The Anglo-Saxon King Harold had fallen. In the confusion, some loyal soldiers fought to the death, while others scattered in panic. Leaderless and defeated, the last of the Anglo-Saxon army fled for their lives. The Normans celebrated victory over the English king, but William's quest to rule England was just beginning. At the Battle of Hastings, the death of one man changed the course of history. The Anglo-Saxon King Harold was killed here, on England's south coast. His army defeated by William of Normandy. Anglo-Saxon rule was over forever. At Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day 1066, William was crowned the first Norman King of England. Now he had to secure power across the country. He began by stamping his mark on the landscape, building cathedrals and castles at strategic locations. Nothing like them had been seen in England before. They reminded the Anglo-Saxon population exactly who was in charge. But not all were content with living under Norman rule. Anglo-Saxon revolts broke out across the country. King William acted quickly to crush these rebellions. But there was one region where dissent was spiraling out of control: the north of England. In 1069, a group of lords from Northumbria formed an alliance with Viking invaders. Together they approached Norman-held York, a large city with an important cathedral, still protected by ancient Roman walls. But the walls couldn't save York. The city and the castle fell to the rebels. William's new kingdom was under threat. He had to get the city back under Norman control. William had no choice but to order his men north. But as the Norman forces set off on their long march towards York, how much resistance from the rebels would they encounter? William the Conqueror marched north, with his army of Normans determined to take back the rebel-held city of York. But in his path stood rebel towns that harbored William's northern enemies. He would take the towns back by force.
Je commande, avant. Voyez prest, compagnon. Incontinent. Je suis votre serveur. L'heure, certes. En votre service. En away.
The Normans captured the town of Middlethorpe, establishing their presence in the north. With reinforcements to his armies soon arriving, William would need more resources to supply them.
Attendez les commandements. Avant.
Vade, arquère.
Voyez.
Arquère, in avant.
Access vos, compagnon.
Parat, escolto. Straight.
Le wand, je commande.
Mondes. Si. Vado. Cavallo. Ubi vado. Beh. Explore. Bene. Vado.
Voyez prêt. Avant, compagnon.
Che? Ma sono. Sì, laboranza. Ascolto. Edifico.
Si,
Mandements. Mandements.
si, labourance.
Actandez.
Aperti.
Lanquier,
Escolto.
parade, ambulance. Vade, arquier, exploro. Chierte. Escolto.
Access. Je suis votre serveuse. Promenez vos avoués.
Soutiens
Incontinent.
Ronde, je commande, avant.
Che? Escolto.
Parade. Occido. Vado. Gogo.
Tous
Odite.
avertisez votre courage, compagnon. Soyez prest, compagnon.
Exploro. Si. Ok.
Mais Sultan!
Escolto.
Escolte tous. Mandements. Capians.
Spero. Edifico.
Access vos, compagnon.
Mandes. Bene. Chierte. Vado. Ensala. Parade.
Quod.
Ensala. Bene, escolto. In aiuto! Si. Si.
The Norman army was now well supplied by a town, but it would take a sustained effort to keep the army at full strength.
Parats.
Attention. Chierte. Vado.
Another rebel town, Fulford, stood in defiance to William's rule.
Access vos, compagnon.
Lanquier. Parate. Ambola. Exploro. Escolto.
L'heure est de besoigner.
Ubi vado.
Barats.
Finit.
Mandements.
Soyez prêts, si comme vos voldrez. Ah, ça y est, c'est vos services. Si comme vos voldrez. Je suis votre serveur.
Escolte.
Escolto.
Edifico. Mandements.
Si. Laburo.
Barats. Capio.
Che. Masono.
Spero.
Quod.
Attendez les commandements.
Parade.
Access vos, compagnon.
Me. Finit.
Access vos avoués.
Ubi vado.
Attendez les commandements.
Allons, l'ennemi nos agüet.
Si.
Quod.
L'heure est de besoigner. Access vos.
With the Fulford rebels eliminated, William was one step closer to York.
Soyez prest, compagnon.
Attendez.
Knowing he would face strong resistance in the city, William prepared to bolster his cavalry.
Colonnes Parats. Bravo.
What? Acces vos, compagnon.
Perfect. Bene.
Certes.
Si.
Mais
Laburo.
che?
Colonnes Perrant.
Soyez prest, compagnon.
What?
L'heure.
Parat. Cavallo. Si.
Que?
Attendez les commandements.
Escolto. Masono.
L'heure est votre jetzt.
Prepare. Nintendo. Escolto.
Escolto. Colonne sperante. Edifico. Escolto.
Escolte. Spero. Edifico. Quod. Masono.
Me.
Ubi vado? Me. Mandemans.
Che?
Laburo.
The Norman army came under attack from a new enemy, the Danes. William's army held back the Danes' attack, but they threatened to return unless William paid them in gold.
Pour votre service. Asseyez vos armes. Nous allons.
Spero. What? Masono. Vado. Baked. Edifico.
Acces
The Normans discovered the source of the Danes' threat, an outpost on the water. William had a choice: bypass the encampment, destroy it, or pay the Danes the gold they demanded.
Vado. Escolte bene. Siete cavalli.
Avant. Incontinent.
Quel lavoro. Si somes.
Mondesqued.
Cos'è sarà massonata? Mondesqueda?
Tuts odite.
Io massono la cose.
Ok.
Labour Spérance. Bonne labour. Cos'è sarà massonata?
Labour Spérance.
Mondesqueda? Io ma sono la... Sì, comprendo.
Avance pour labourar. Vado labourar.
Benvenuti. Questus si combo mondo.
Ernest! Arrête cette France! Prenez sont ici!
Anarchon, assaillez vos armes. Nos allons. Apertisez vostre courage, compagnon.
Moment bene, bene.
Accessments vos, compagnon.
Présentez l'encaisse.
Produite, apertis.
Sort obéissance. Comprendo. Si sommet. Toute sodité. Vado laburar. Io ma sono la...
E ci rimando mont. Io ma sono la cose.
Soyez prest, comme Accessmesvos.
Cavalarios barriers. Je veux... Parade de labour. Mondesqueda. Movo. Vado laburar. Sì, bene. Cos'è sarà massonata?
Accessmesvos, compagnon.
Escolte bene. Cose sarà massonata.
Guarda me. Io ma sono la cose. Sì. Si, un boulot. Eccelement de main. Parade, bordé.
E ci rimando mont. Bien fait. Cose sarà massonata.
Labour sperancito. Affect.
Tuts odite.
Vado laburar. Qued me? Cos'è sarà massonata? cette ramps. Cos'è sarà massonata?
In destroying the Dane outpost, William stripped the rebels of a crucial ally.
Quaid.
William's ultimate goal was within his grasp. All that remained was to enter York and destroy its keep.
Auditrande, je commande avant. Por vostre instrument effect. Attendez les commandements.
Kedmandes, si voleis. Oye, oye.
In effect. Maintenance, colonesse.
Voyez presse, compagnie. Mandes arrêt. Mandes ambula. Sopranos. Kenos manges. Quasi fest. L'heure est de besoin.
Cavale par respect. Cum grand cours.
Cavalarios, cavalarios. Je veux incontinent.
Parate, allez, arquière. Momentes, parate.
Ambula. Cavalario. A medio cours. Attendez les commandements. Cavalario.
Si cavallo ici. Commandes. Ambulo. Veillance l'ennemi. Nos menacet. Cum grande course. Cavallo ici. Oh yeah, oh.
La bourse, Perrin. Escolte au paras. Vado labourard. Preparate, archer. Sarat, si est.
Redordines. Audio. Access vos, compagnon.
Cavale parate. Les
parate,
maçons
si
sont ici. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Perfecté.
Arco parat. Toute sodité. Io ma sono la cose.
Ci sommes.
Quemandes.
Voyez presse, compagnon. Quemandes.
Si, parat.
Scalafo.
Momentes, parat.
Donets, ouais, osat pits.
Preparat. Obedio.
Kedmandes, cum grande course.
Respect.
Vieni, vieni.
Arate, archers.
Sommes instruments.
Preparate, archer, in avant. Nintendo.
Christus presse.
Arate, archers.
Ambula. Christus
In avant. Arco parat. Preparat. Archer parat. Moment ici. Arate, allez, archer. Preparate,
access vos, compagnon. Voyez access vos.
allez, archer.
Kedmandes, ambulo.
Toute sodité. Vado labourard.
Sommes registris vostre serviteur. À l'arson, Chim.
Moment, archer.
Préparate.
Archer parat.
Chevalier, votre guerre.
Arco parat. Sagitta in arco. Parat. In avant, archer.
Serbian vite, Serbian sus instruments. Tots instruments.
Cavale parade. Cum grande course. Cavallo ici.
Access Metzvos, compagnie Retrayets, bon.
Préparate, archer. In avant. Momentes, parat, ambula.
Instrument.
Momentes.
Est de besoin.
Entendo.
Attendez,
Commandez. In ayuda.
Resto a vostro servizio.
The Norman army poured into York and began sacking the town as they bore down on the keep.
Cursor obéa. Comprendo.
The keep fell to the Norman army, and York was secured. The Northern Rebellion was over, and William the Conqueror was uncontested as King of England.